Hey, we just finished retiling Sanka's Casita, which is our two-bedroom rental unit downstairs here at our house. Thought someone out there may be interested in how we did it and the costs associated with it. But first, I'm gonna go play pickleball and hope somebody else finishes cleaning up down here. While Allie puts everything back together again, I thought I'd go over what we've been through the last 4 or 5 weeks to get to this point. The things that you need, materials, you need the tile. We ordered that 3 weeks before we started because it takes 3 weeks once you order for it to be delivered. You also need the adhesivo, which is the material that connects the tile to the floor, and you also need the grout or the sellador. And when you're choosing the sellador, the grout, you can choose if you want like a chocolate color. That's what we chose, but you can go with a black or a gray or a white or whatever else. Darker colors seem to work better because the dirt and stuff doesn't show up as much. We purchased the tile. You have to kind of estimate because each person that comes through and gives you a quote will tell you a different amount of square footage or square meters. I did my own math and I missed by probably 2 or 3 square meters because you're trying to factor in how much they're going to waste. You're going to factor in the Zoclo, that's the trim, the trim too. So and then the same thing with the adhesivo, which connects to the floor. Since they had to remove the old floor, we're basing it off of if it's a fresh floor. So we ended up needing a lot more. We bought 14 bags. Each bag's, I think, 40 kilograms or 50 kilograms. We bought 14 of those bags for 700 square feet, 750 square feet. We ended up needing another 5.5 bags. We got 4 quotes for the work here, and they were $25,000, $30,000, $35,000, and $46,000. And you'll never believe we went with the cheapest one. There is a saying in Mexico, which is el barato es el caro, which basically says you go with the cheapest, it ends up being the most expensive. I don't think that worked out in this case, but I could definitely see that being the case often. So the whole thing took about 2 weeks to do. It was a week of removing the old tile and then a week of install of the new tile. Because of the amount of mess that doing this project takes, we ended up, this wasn't really necessarily something that we were planning on doing right now, but we have some other projects on the property, and it just made sense to try to bang out as many of these things that are kind of a nuisance at the same time. There are 2 ways that you can lay tile. You can actually lay it if you have a solid tile already there that doesn't have any cracks in it and was laid down really well and it's not going to start to come up. You can put the tile directly on top of that. What they say is that it's a little more expensive, but it makes a lot less mess and it goes in a lot quicker. We kind of made our decision based on the fact that we were already shutting the property down. We didn't want to have to change the level of the doors on the property or in this unit. And the way they made it sound, it ended up it'd be about the same amount of cost because the material to attach to the tile is a lot more expensive, but it takes less time. The material that we use is a lot cheaper, but it takes more time. If that makes any sense. So we went with removing the other tile, even though it makes a mess. Turns out they removed the doors, and 2 of the doors wouldn't be able to go back on. So we had to get a carpenter out to trim off like 1/8 of an inch off of each door. We only did one of the bathrooms in this unit is brand new, so it already had a new tile on it. The other bathroom, we put in a new tile. With that one, we actually had extra tile here from another project, so we didn't have to buy the tile, but they did have to remove that toilet and we had to have the plumber come out. So the costs of the project, the labor, based off of the current conversion, which is terrible if you're from the United States, we paid $1,475 for the labor. And again, that was about a 2-week job. The materials that we purchased was $1,385. If we got it exactly right with the material it would have probably been another $100 or $150 cheaper. And then we had to pay another $70 US to have the doors fixed and the toilet installed. So I think I'm looking at my sheet here. I don't know. I can do the math, but that's roughly 15. That's close to $3,000 US that we spent on this project. 750 square foot apartment, but we'll show you the finished product in a minute. A day later, I think we're ready for guests. Couple tips if you're thinking about tiling a remodel. Store your furniture somewhere safe. Cover it. Keep it away from the workers. Their hands are in the dirt and cement, the grout, and all that stuff. It's going to get on the walls. It's going to get on everything. You definitely don't want it on your furniture, so keep that away from them. We've spent the last 2.5 days cleaning this place from the ceiling to the walls, to the windows, to the floors. You know, you want to minimize the amount of work that you have to do once they've finished their work. On the material, check it. When they deliver the tile, check it within a couple days, because we learned the hard way. You have 3 days to go through all the boxes, and we had 49 boxes of tile, and if any of it's broken, after 3 days, you can't return it. So we, when I did take this box of broken tile back to Ceramic, they informed me that there's some fine print that says that that they don't have to take it back and that we're stuck with it. So, like I always say, be very specific with the parameters of the work. Get it in writing. Who's responsible for the if they remove a toilet, who's going to pay to have that reinstalled? Same with the doors. Any debris, are they responsible for getting rid of that? Are you going to be responsible for that? What happens if something's broken? What's the work schedule? What's the payment schedule? What happens if they don't finish on time? I mean, the more detailed you can be, really it's the best for everyone, because it minimizes the chance that there's going to be a misunderstanding. So, I mean, for us, ultimately, we just decided to cover the expense for the doors and the toilets because we weren't clear with it before. So there also was a broken part in the bathroom, but we'll super glue it on and, you know, move on. But other than that, I think that should pretty much cover everything. We have more projects planned in this unit. We're going to wait a year until next summer, but I know Allie's already talking about what she wants to do with the kitchen. So thanks for watching. Take care.